Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
A majority of Ohio University students voted against concealed carry weapons licenses on campus last night. Good evening, I'm Chelsea Sick.
And I'm Mackenzie Pyatt. Thanks for joining us. About 7,000 students voted, with about 35% for and 65% against. 94% of the student votes came from the Athens campus. The other 6 came from the regional campuses. However, a majority of students at the regional campuses voted for allowing concealed carry weapons, whereas Athens did not. Although the student votes are finalized, the Board of Trustees will make the final decision.
Board of Trustees are the people who are making the decision, but they pass it on to us to hear, because we represent the students, so they want to know what students feel about it, so they can vote based on that. So they take a lot of measure into consideration, but student votes and student opinion are the main focus.
Right now, it is unclear when the Board of Trustees will make the final decisions.
School will not be in session for students in the Trimble Local School District tomorrow. The school district announced today they would be closed tomorrow due to the increased number of students with strep throat. The Athens Messenger reported Trimble High, Middle, and Elementary schools will be closed so custodial staff can sanitize the buildings. Students attending Athens City School District could be moving to a different school. The school district committee met Monday to talk about the future of the district's facilities. They came up with 3 options. Option 1 includes 1 school for kindergarten through 5th graders. The next idea includes 1 school for pre-K through 2nd grade and another for 3rd through 5th. The last option is to have 2 schools for pre-K through 5th grade. They will meet again on February 1st to talk about this further.
Ohio University's Voinovich School is starting a study on local groundwater quality. WOUB's Arnold Vonda reports researchers are looking for local landowners to take part in the project.
Jennifer Bowman from the Voinovich School is leading the groundwater study. The researchers want to find out if and how wastewater injection wells affect groundwater quality in Athens County.
They receive the most amount of waste that injection wells receive in waste. Athens County is one of the leading counties to receive waste from the hydraulic fracturing industry.
Bowman and her team will measure the environmental conditions and monitor water quality conditions around the injection wells, but they need the help of landowners.
So we're looking for landowners who are drinking well water in those areas so that we can have a point of entry to collect data from the underground aquifers. And they can contact me if they're interested in participating in the study.
Researchers will take 3 samples over the year and share the results with the landowners. Bowman hopes to share results of the study with the public in the summer of 2018. Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Arnold Vonda.
Participants should sign up by February 15th or by contacting Jennifer Bowman with the phone number 740-597-3101 or the email below.
Police charged an Athens man after a fire on Tuesday morning at the market on State Street. Christopher Euler is in custody on charges of aggravated arson, breaking and entering, and safe cracking. Police were called to the scene after a report of a suspicious fire. The Highway Patrol stopped Euler while he exited the parking lot. He was also charged with driving under the influence and speeding. Euler appeared in court on Tuesday. His bond was set to nearly $30,000. A city and university task force confirmed that there is not enough affordable residential housing in Athens. The increased student enrollment at Ohio University and the need for housing has inflated the value of housing stock. One area of concern is the lack of renovations of the rentals in Athens. Mayor Steve Patterson says creating a tax incremental financing fund could help to pay for renovations and new home construction. However, it is still too soon to tell how the city will deal with the housing demand.
State law enforcement is investigating the death of an 8-month-old from the village of MacArthur. The child was found unresponsive on December 9th, says MacArthur Police Chief Matt Kite. The Bureau of Criminal Investigation is spearheading the case. This is the 2nd time the BCI has investigated the death of a child in Vinton County in the past year. No arrests have been made.
Good evening, I'm Adriana Davies. In these past few weeks in Athens, we have felt way above average temperatures, and those temperatures will not be around anymore. I know, I'm kind of sad about it too, but some people like the snow. That snow will be here later in the week, but as for right now in Athens, it's 38 degrees under partly cloudy skies with winds from the west-southwest at 5 miles an hour. Right now around the region, 37 down in Ripley, Newark, and Chillicothe, 38 down in Ironton, and 36 over in Jackson. Our overnight lows for the area, 30s around the region, except for over in Marietta, we see 31 degrees and 29 in New Lexington, Chillicothe, and Ironton. Our overnight, hour by hour, 33 degrees by 12 a.m. under partly cloudy skies. You can see not that big of a decrease in temperatures, 32 by 3 a.m. and by 6 a.m., 31 degrees. Definitely colder than we have felt before. Now over to Chelsea.
A federal judge says Ohio's new lethal injection process is unconstitutional. Magistrate Judge Michael Mers has delayed 3 upcoming executions. The ruling comes after a week-long hearing over the 3-drug method planned to be used on Ronald Phillips on February 15th. Mers has also stopped the use of drugs that paralyze inmates and stop their hearts. The state is arguing these methods are constitutional. The execution of Phillips would have been the first since January 2014. Testing of driverless cars and other vehicles will soon be underway in Ohio. Governor John Kasich and Ohio State University President Michael Drake announced a $45 million investment in this project. OSU will invest $25 million, and Kasich is including $12.5 million in the state transportation budget. Jobs Ohio will contribute the rest. The project's expansion will include a high-speed intersection, roundabout traffic lights, and a smart control center.
Students attending Marietta College will have another major to choose from. A $1 million gift to the college will help start up a music therapy program. Marietta College alumni Donald and Leslie Ritter donated the money. Now the college is searching for a faculty member to head the program. The new major will be available for fall semester 2018. West Virginia is facing a serious budget crisis. The state government is projecting a deficit of $500 million in 2018 fiscal year. Governor Jim Justice believes the funding gap could reach $700 million the following year. Governor Justice will propose his plan to lower the debt to state legislators on February 8th. Trump announced that he will nominate a Supreme Court pick next Thursday.
And the GOP is meeting in Philadelphia to make their agenda for the upcoming year. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Eric 3 II, the host of Hardwood Heroes. You should watch our program Sundays at 11 o'clock p.m. Any important and relevant information you need about Southeast Ohio high school basketball, we have. During the week, keep up with our online content at woub.org/heroes. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Harwood Heroes. You can follow your boy as well at Junior_3. As always, I'm Eric 3 II, reminding you to be heroic.
President Donald Trump makes his first official flight on Air Force One today. Attending a retreat for Republican lawmakers in Philadelphia, his trip comes as tensions are simmering between Mexico and the U.S. With more on this diplomatic showdown, Diane Gallagher joins us now live from Washington.
Mexican President Peña Nieto calling President Trump's bluff, tweeting that Mexico informed the White House this morning he would be canceling his trip to meet with Trump next week. The trip being scrapped less than 24 hours after Trump signed an executive order to build his long-promised wall along the southern border. And after Trump's tweet that maybe Peña Nieto should cancel his meeting if Mexico refuses to foot the bill. Trump telling Republican lawmakers at their Philadelphia retreat that the decision was mutual.
The President of Mexico and myself have agreed to cancel our planned meeting scheduled for next week.
On how the wall will be paid for,
I've said many times that the American people will not pay for the wall. And I've made that clear to the government of Mexico.
But the details are scant, and questions of how much the wall will cost now dogging the Republican leadership.
We are moving ahead, as the Speaker pointed out to our group yesterday, with
border supplemental.
Yeah, of a roughly
12 to 15.
Yeah, $12 to $15 billion. So
it appears U.S. taxpayers will pay that cost up front.
And the latest, according to the White House, President Donald Trump has decided he will pay for the wall by imposing a 20% tax on imports from Mexico.
Vice President Mike Pence spoke to House and Senate Republicans at a retreat in Philadelphia about Trump's plans for the Supreme Court pick. He told lawmakers that Trump plans to announce the Supreme Court pick next week and gave hints about the choice.
President Trump is going to keep his promise to the American people, and he's going to nominate a strict constructionist to the Supreme Court in the tradition of the late and great Justice Antonin Scalia.
Trump says his pick will most probably be announced by February 3rd.
House and Senate Republicans are in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on a retreat to work on the GOP congressional agenda for 2017, including replacing Obamacare and working on immigration reform. Kristen Holmes has this report from Washington.
We are on the same page with the White House.
This Congress is going to be the busiest Congress we've had in decades, maybe ever.
GOP leaders and the president insisting they are working in tandem during a retreat for congressional Republicans in Philadelphia. Yet the Speaker of the House and Senate Majority Leader refusing to engage when asked about escalating tensions between the U.S. and Mexico after a series of tweets over who would pay for the border wall.
I don't have any advice to give to the president about that issue.
We're going to see unconventional activities like tweets and things like that, and I think that's just something that we're all going to have to get used to.
President Peña Nieto canceling an upcoming meeting with President Trump, insisting Mexico would not pay for it.
Unless Mexico is going to treat the United States fairly, with respect, such a meeting would be fruitless.
And breaking with the president's recent comments that torture works.
Torture's not legal, and we agree with it not being legal.
Republican lawmakers maintaining that repealing and replacing Obamacare is at the top of their 2017 agenda. President Trump putting a heavy focus on immigration.
We've put in place the first steps in our immigration plan, ordering the immediate construction of the border wall.
While Congress waits for the administration to unveil a plan to pay for his controversial border wall, estimating the cost at $12 to $15 billion. In Washington, I'm Kristen Holmes.
President Trump, who spoke at the retreat, said he was looking forward to working with what was going to be the busiest Congress we've had in decades.
Uber has surpassed Starbucks as the most common expense among business travelers. That's according to a new study from travel and expense software provider Certify. The company analyzed 40 million expenses from 1 million business travelers. Uber accounted for 6% of all business travel transactions in 2016. A reminder of the challenge car rental and taxi companies face from companies like Uber and Lyft. As for Starbucks, it's still the most popular meal expense. The largest amount of money is still spent on airfare, followed by hotels.
On Wall Street today, stocks varied across the board. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. For long periods of time can affect your health. That story still ahead.
And up next on Newswatch, the cold is back and the snow might come with it. We'll talk about that and more up next on Newswatch.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like we're having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us. Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
Welcome back to Newswatch. California's exceptional drought is over for the first time in 3 years. A group called the U.S. Drought Monitor says only 2% of the state is in extreme drought conditions now. That's a major improvement. At its height, nearly 60% of the state had exceptional drought. Recent powerful storms and a lot of snow in the mountains have helped boost California's water supply.
Welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Adriana Davies. And that rain that California was seeing will start to affect us later into next week. We'll see that chance of snow come with that low pressure system sitting over California. But as for right now in Athens, 38 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. The winds are from the west-southwest at 5 miles an hour. Right now around the region, 38 down in Ironton, 36 in Jackson, and 35 up in Columbus. Our almanac for today, we were a little bit more around normal than we have been lately. Today we had a high of 46 degrees where the normal was 37, so that was a little bit better than our 20-degree difference that we've been seeing as of recently. Tonight in Athens, 32 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and this temperature is seasonable for this time of the year. Our overnight lows, 30 degrees for a majority of our region. We'll see 31 in Marietta, 29 down in Ironton, Chillicothe, and over in New Lexington with partly cloudy skies. Our precipcast for tonight, we'll see that rain start to move out of the area and over the water, but we'll see a chance for snow start to kind of linger. All of this pink and blue that we see above us is freezing rain and snow. That will start to affect us later into the next week, but as for right now, we won't have to worry about that. At the bus stop tomorrow morning, 31 degrees, cooler than normal, so definitely bundle up. I know I'm gonna have my jacket on all day tomorrow. 31 by 8 a.m., 35 by noon, and by 4 p.m., 35 degrees. Tomorrow in Athens, our high is 36 with mostly cloudy skies. It will be relatively windy. Temperatures around the region in the mid to upper 30s with partly cloudy skies. For our 7-day forecast, we see chilly temperatures, like I said, than we've been normally used to. That chance of snow will start to dissipate. But as we see on Wednesday, that chance of snow will come back into play with our overnight temperatures way lower than we have been seeing before, into the mid-20s. And I know I am not ready for that, but we'll have to deal with it. Now over to you, Chelsea.
You know how old you are on paper, but how old are you biologically? Well, the researchers behind a new study say that may depend on how active you are. The study looked at senior women and what happens when they regularly sit too long. Kim Hutcherson has more in today's Health Minute.
Another reason to keep active, no matter what your age. A study that looked at nearly 1,500 women between the ages of 64 and 95 found that women who sat more than 10 hours a day with little exercise were biologically 8 years older than their actual age. The lead researcher from the University of California at San Diego study says cells aged faster when the women didn't move around. Specifically, what the scientists believe happens is that telomeres, the caps on the ends of DNA strands that protect chromosomes from deterioration, shorten faster with a lack of activity. Other factors, such as smoking, can also accelerate telomere shortening. Cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer are all associated with the condition. The study's authors found women who sat longer avoided the problem if they exercised for at least 30 minutes a day, in accordance with guidelines. Researchers want to do more studies, this time looking at the link between exercise and telomere length in younger adults and men. But for now, they say the message is exercise should be embraced early in life and still practiced later in life. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Keeping an active lifestyle, no matter your age, is important for your mind, body, and health.
Coming up next, the Cincinnati Reds are in town, and Justin Holbrook will be there live. And we'll bring you the highlights from the Lady Bobcats win last night. Stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Eric Threet II, the host of Hardwood Heroes. You should watch our program Sundays at 11 o'clock p.m. Any important and relevant information you need about Southeast Ohio high school basketball, we have. During the week, keep up with our online content at woub.org/heroes. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hardwood Heroes. You can follow your boy as well at junior_3. As always, I'm Eric Threet II, reminding you to be heroic.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Hey, welcome back. I'm Tyler Corbett. Starting off on the hardwood, the Lady Bobcats pulled off their third straight win last night, defeating Western Michigan 80-67 at the Convo. The Lady Bobcats would end the first half on a 27-1 run and never look back. Katie Barker tied a career high with 18 points and tied a career high by hitting 6 3-pointers in the game. The game also saw reigning MAC East Player of the Week, Kiara Lampkins, move into a tie for third all-time with the Bobcats in steals with 202. Coach Bob Bolden also tied for the second most wins all-time in Ohio history with 77. The next game for the Lady Bobcats is on Saturday against Miami. Ohio defensive end Terrell Basham is turning heads at the Senior Bowl. Scouts are currently raving over what Basham can do. Some scouts are now seeing Basham as an early round pick following phenomenal workouts. Projected to go anywhere from 2nd to 6th round, he is seen as a potential steal for many teams. Basham led the Bobcats with 11.5 sacks to go along with 50 tackles. Basham's 11.5 sacks saw him finish tied for 11th in the nation in that category. Northeastern Ohio natives like myself have a lot to be excited about. It has been 20 years since Cleveland last hosted an All-Star game, but that soon looks to change. The MLB is expected to announce tomorrow that Progressive Field, home of the Cleveland Indians, will be hosting the 2019 MLB All-Star Game. It has been a roller coaster of a year for Cleveland sports fans, and it seems to just keep getting better for this past season's World Series runner-ups. This should make for a fun few years of baseball in Cleveland. Well, as long as they avoid 3-1 leads. The Cincinnati Reds are in Athens this evening for their annual Winter Caravan Tour. WOUB's Justin Holbrook is live at the Market on State. Justin, what's going on over there?
Tyler, the Reds just got here for their stop in Athens, and it kicked off day one of their East Tour. Now, some of the familiar faces behind me are Reds Hall of Famer Eric Davis, as well as Dick Williams, who's the general manager. Joining me now is broadcaster Jeff Brantley. Jeff, you've been doing this for a while. What's it like to come out and see the crowds get excited about baseball season being right around the corner?
Well, I think the biggest thing is being able to talk about the team, get some excitement about baseball. You know, this is the time of year you're starting to finish up football, and once you get past the Super Bowl, I mean, even with the Caravan, you're kind of giving everybody a little bit of tease, a little bit of taste of baseball. But once the Super Bowl is over, it is all baseball.
Not an ideal season last year. What's the season looking like? And does it get older? Are you excited about what's in store for this year and getting to call these games?
I am excited. I think the key for me is seeing those young players come to the big leagues and find. And I know that it's difficult a lot of times for fans to see players that they don't know, they don't know their names, and especially guys that have had a difficult time last year. But I know as a player, and having gone through this process, you get to the big leagues the first time, you kind of get your feet wet, you start to figure out, all right, how am I going to do this? How am I going to run around? But the biggest thing is you have an off season to prepare, and now you're back in the big leagues. This is when you start to find out what guys are about.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. That's all from us. Back to you.
This year's team in less than a month. Thanks, Justin, by the way. And I'm Tyler Corbett, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Mackenzie.
Thanks, Tyler. Well, Wisconsin teen is enjoying some viral fame, not to mention snow-free sidewalks, thanks to a life hack that he says makes a grueling chore a lot more fun. Tanner Scherer uses his hoverboard when shoveling snow, and he calls it the hover plow. Tanner's ingenuity is now on YouTube and has been viewed over 300,000 times. So, Adriana, we've already seen some flurries around here, but will there be enough snow to start shoveling this weekend?
Oh, I sure hope not, but we might see that. That's actually a really good idea, and being from Northeast Ohio, definitely might need to look into purchasing one of those hoverboard things. Tonight in Athens, 32 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and that is seasonable for this time of the year. Tomorrow in Athens, we'll see a high of 36, mostly cloudy, partly windy as well, so west-southwest winds from 10 to 15 miles an hour. And looking at our extended forecast, we'll see those cooler temperatures with a chance of snow into the weekend and possibly even into next week. Now back over to our anchors.
Thanks, Adriana. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Mackenzie Pyatt.
And I'm Chelsea Six. Stay tuned for the PBS News Hour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.